I'm going to do my best Terry Gross to give you a nice intro and everything. So, all right, let's see. Today on DC Comics News, I have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Diedrich Bader. You may know his live-action work from such TV shows and movies like The Drew Carey Show, Office Space, and Napoleon Dynamite. He has also had an extensive career in animation, voicing such characters like Zeta in the Zeta Project, the title character in Batman, Batman the Brave and the Bold, and Guy Gardner in Green Lantern, the animated series, and Lego DC Comics Superheroes Justice League versus Bizarro League, just to name a few. This fall, Bader will co-star with Caden Nixon in American Housewife on ABC, as well as give voice to Booster Gold on the Cartoon Network series Justice League Action. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Diedrich Bader. Hey, how's it going, Diedrich?
Good. That was a great introduction. Thank you very much.
Gosh, it's my pleasure. We've been trying to get this interview together for so long, and you're so busy, and I just really appreciate you taking time out on a Saturday, no less, to talk to your fans. I being one of them.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry that it hadn't worked out before, but I'm glad that we finally got together. Okay.
Yeah, so let's get started. I was doing a little bit of research, and I gave you an introduction, but let's talk about when you first got started into acting. How did that come about?
I really got interested in acting when I was very little. I used to go see Charlie Chaplin movies when I was a little kid, and then the film burned at this theater that used to have an organ player play, for live accompaniment, and I jumped in between the screen and the audience, and I did my little Charlie Chaplin act. I think that's really when I was born as an actor, but I started professionally when I went to North Carolina School of the Arts to be trained as an actor, to be a stage actor. That's really what I was going to do. And then I met a casting director at a dinner party in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and before I knew it, I was cast as a regular in a pilot that was a Western.
Mm-hmm.
Was shooting in Santa Fe, and that was kind of the start. I was 20, and it was, I didn't know that acting for the screen would be so much fun. But I got to ride around a horse and dress like a cowboy, and I was like a little boy again. It was really great.
Every little boy's dream, dressing up as a cowboy.
Yeah, exactly. It's played by a cowboy, yeah. Awesome.
Cool. So, I know I'm a big fan of The Drew Carey Show, watched it religiously.
Nice.
What was that like working with the cast there, especially Drew? Do you still keep in contact with some of the cast members? Do you watch The Price is Right now, or what?
I watch The Price is Right religiously. No, I did see, I saw Drew on Saturday, and then I went to a Johnson fundraiser, I think it was 2 weeks before that, up at his house. He's a really good guy. He was always really funny on the Drew Carey Show, and always up and fun to be with, and, and of course Ryan Stiles is amazing. He made every day like a cocktail party. He was just so much fun and really funny, like a genius. And Kathy Kinney, just a sweet, warm, wonderful gal, and I always loved her, and see her all the time. And Craig Ferguson, of course, unbelievably funny, talented, charming, erudite, interesting guy. We had a good time on that show, and we got to shoot in front of a live audience, and that was truly fun, especially once we had a good crowd. Like the second year, that's when we really started getting good numbers, and crowds started showing up and making it a kind of an event.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was really fun to be in front of a live audience. There just aren't that many sitcoms that shoot in front of a live audience anymore. I mean, I've really tried to do pilots that were like that, multicam, they call them, that are shot in front of a live audience, but they just weren't picked up. And so I decided to go back to doing single camera comedy. And American Housewife is really fun to do. I mean, they're long hours. We started at 8 yesterday and we ended at 11. So it's a long day, but I think what we're getting is going to be really funny, and people can associate with it. And I'm super excited to see what happens and see if people like it.
I'm excited to see it too, and you're working with, like I said, Caden Nixon, who came from Mike and Molly. And
yeah, she's awesome, incredibly talented. She's just like a megawatt star. She's just lovely and great to work with. Her attitude is so perfect and funny, and she's just so good to the crew. Like, last night she got a coffee truck for everybody, and this enormous amount of donuts, and it was really fun and festive, and kind of kicked in at a time when everybody was super
Awesome. And so, with all the time that you're doing work in front of the camera, you find some time in your schedule to do voice acting work. And your latest project that you're doing, Justice League Action.
Yeah.
I saw some of the clips from Comic-Con that was held back in July. We were out there, as a matter of fact, and I think our site owner was able to talk to a few of the cast members, but I don't think we got a chance to talk to you, which is a great opportunity for us today to talk about that. So tell us about that show.
Well, Justice League Action is a really fun show. It's like, it's very fast-paced. The action moves, obviously, it's got its title right there. It moves really, really quickly, and it's for people that are kind of knowledgeable already about the characters, and so there's a lot of knowing, nods and kind of insider information. I think people that really know comic books and really know the characters will have a lot of things that appeal directly to them, which is sort of cool, and Mike Booster is really, really fun. I mean, he's super high-spirited, he's just like a little boy with a lot of toys that can blow things up and travel through time, which is every boy's dream.
Of course. Now, how is your Booster different from Booster Gold that we've seen in different portrayals in live action and animation?
He's a lot better looking. No, I think that they allowed me to improvise a lot, so I think there's going to be some jokes in there that people may not see coming, because I'm really talking off the top of my head an awful lot, and so I think that he'll genuinely surprise you. But you want to be true to the character as true as you can, anyway. But Booster is a big open door because he's such a child and is having such a good time and just totally hero worships Batman. There's a lot to go on. I think it has something that will appeal to people that really know the character, and also enough jokes where it'll appeal to people that don't.
Okay, and this isn't your first time working with Kevin Conroy, who I'm sure fans know was Batman on Batman the Animated Series, but you worked with him on your Batman the Brave and the Bold. What was that like working with him and Dana Delaney, who is synonymous with fans for playing Lois Lane on Superman the Animated Series, but what was that like working with both of them?
Well, when Kevin worked on Batman Brave and the Bold, he actually had a different time than I did, and I wasn't able to meet him then. But I have subsequently, through Justice League Action, really become close friends with Kevin. And let me tell you, it is amazing to be in the room with the true Batman. I just totally geeked out on him the first time. I was like red-faced geeking out on him. But now we're friends, and we've gone to each other's houses, and he's just a good guy, nice man, and great company. But boy, when he does the Batman voice, it's really.
Well, I really loved your portrayal of Batman on Batman the Brave and the Bold. It took us all over the place, and there was, Easter eggs from the Adam West TV series and from comic books and from all over, different things that were brought in, and it was really great. I was asked by one of the writers on the website to ask you about if you had a what was it? He said the neon Bat Luge board. If you had it autographed from the last episode.
That's what I take to work, actually. I thought it was very nice of Warner Brothers. They did charge me, which was an awful lot, but I figured I'm a billionaire, so it was okay. No, I didn't have that signed. I have to give it up to James Tucker, the creator of the show, and really our showrunner, Michael Jelinek, the writer. They came from a place of real knowledge and love, and James was a great boss to work with because he always had in his mind respect for the characters and respect for the history of the show. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one thing that fans really kind of latched onto, and I had very little to do with it. I can't take credit for it, but I will give it up for James. He was a great showrunner, and somebody I really admire, and I think he just did an awesome show. I'm just so proud that I had a part in that show. It really is the highlight of my career. It just, once you play Batman, it's difficult to play anything else. You're like, yeah, but the backstory is only so-so. So I just was very happy for the opportunity and deeply grateful to James, both for the opportunity and for just running such a great show.
It was.
Oh my God, it was so good. And as I say, especially for fans, because James is one himself. He's the real deal. He's not doing it as a kind of a cynical anything. He really loves it. And took the opportunity for Brave and the Bold to really reach into the lexicon and, as you say, do those and get characters that have been around for a long time, do those Easter eggs that only true fans would understand because he's one of us, and it's a beautiful thing.
And usually when I do these interviews, I always ask the canned, what was your favorite episode question? And I know that it's like choosing children, and I have children. I don't have a favorite child, but are there episodes that, stand out that you were particularly proud of?
Oh, yeah, I think, Chill of the Night, when he confronts the killer of his parents, was pretty great, and I think it's Chill of the Night. And I love the Music Meister episode, even though I'm not really in it very much. It is really great, just conceptually and just realized so beautifully. And, I like there's a ton of them. There was that one where the good guys were bad guys and the bad guys were good guys. That was a great one. There was like an alternate universe or something like that. I love the one with the guy who was supposed to bring powers to the universe, but then did exactly the opposite. I can't remember his name. Those are all great episodes. I was a fan of the show, obviously, so I loved a lot of them. As you say, it's difficult to pick up a few, like your kids. You associate with them so deeply, but I'd say those are like my top ones anyway.
So, speaking of the Music Meister, I was able to interview Dynamic Music Partners a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they do some great work. And you were talking about it's not just the writers, but in addition to the writers, the music of the show, and it sets the tone for whatever the episode is.
Oh yeah, those guys are great. I just worked with them recently. They're really, really lovely people, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they've got a great musical sense. I mean, the music in Music Meister is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a really, really good episode. They're very good at their job. Every time I see them in a session, I'm like, okay, we're in good hands.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have that soundtrack actually. So if
cool.
Yeah, if I ever see you somewhere, I'm like, hey, remember me? Sign this. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, and let's see. You did Zeta in the Zeta Project.
Yeah.
Was that your first DC Comics type show? I think they introduced the character on Batman Beyond. Did you play Zeta on there also, or?
Yeah, they introduced that character on the show. Yeah, that was Will Friedel, I think, who did that. Yeah. Zeta was good. I mean, I think I'm more proud of Batman Brave and Bold, but the Zeta Project was my first series for Warner Brothers, and always have a special place in my heart. And I got to work with the amazing Andrea Romano, casting director and dialogue director on that, and it was a good introduction to what series really requires. And ultimately led, I think, to Batman Brave and Bold.
And what are some of the other characters that you haven't played yet that maybe one day, if you get the opportunity, you'd like to play?
Oh, Lex Luthor. Yeah, definitely. I'd love to do Lex Luthor. Let's see, what else? I'd like to play more bad guys. I've been playing a lot of good guys. But I'd like to play more bad guys. They're always fun, you get to chew up the scenery a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So bad guys.
And I think I was reading somewhere that you weren't exposed to a lot of comic books when you were younger, but you became a fan like later on. Was this before or after?
Totally. That's completely true. Because my parents, my dad especially, if he found comic books, would throw them out.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no real point in me bringing them home. But at camp, I used to read. Kids would bring their comic books, obviously, and I would read I can't say I was a real comic book fan, just because I wasn't able to obsess over them like, like some kids where you just read them over and over and over again. Like my kids read their comic books over and over and over and over again. They know every single frame, and I just wasn't able to do it because they were all out. So, I mean, what really got me into it, personally, was my son, because he is a comic book, he's just a comic book geek. He carries the comic encyclopedia around with him. He's traveled with it all over the world.
Oh, wow.
He really loves it. I mean, he's the real deal. He really loves it. And so, he would read a particular comic book and hand it to me and go, this is really good. And so he was the one who really got me into it. And also helped me understand, like, the depth and the gravity and the real love of Batman. How, in my opinion anyway, from my experience, he's the most loved of comic book characters. And, it's been a great experience. The two of us brings us kind of closer together, comic books. So, am I doing the opposite of my dad? Yeah, probably. I guess some people do that, but I ended up falling into that. But it's something we can bond on, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I can relate. I have two sons, Cameron and Caden, and we talk for hours. Well, what about if this happened to Batman, and how did this affect him in this comic book? So
totally. Speculative conversations are some of the most fun. Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. When you said that you didn't get to meet Kevin Conroy until you both started doing Justice League Action, when you were doing Batman, the Brave and the Bold, was it an ensemble session, or did you come in to just do your part?
Well, Kevin had a different session that time. I think he may have been in New York, actually.
Mm-hmm.
He's living both in New York and Los Angeles now, but at that time, during Batman, Brave and the Bold, he was primarily living in New York City. So a lot of his sessions were either in New York, or he would come to Los Angeles and just cram in a ton of Batman stuff during the time he was here. And so to get him to do a full session, in other words, with all the other actors, just wasn't realistic because he just had too much to do and didn't have time to sit for a full session. He just had time to do his dialogue. So it's completely understandable. But, kind of built up to my meeting him with Justice League Action because, I wanted to meet the legend, the man himself. And so I was super excited about it.
So when you would do other episodes, did you get to interact with the other actors when you were recording, or?
On Batman, Brave and the Bold, or Justice League Action?
On Batman, the Brave and the Bold.
Oh, yeah. In the main, I would say all the actors were there. The exceptions being like Adam West, Kevin, and I think that's it, actually. Yeah, I think that's it. Everybody else came in. It's fun to read with the actors because it's the radio play. We sit in kind of this semicircle, and everybody reads together, and you get a great sense of where everybody's going with the character. And like we got great actors like J.K. Simmons, and it was really fun who they would bring in, and great to do it like a radio play. And you could walk in not having shaved or not wearing any pants, and nobody said anything about it. It's great.
John DiMaggio.
Oh, the greatest. The king. I love Johnny.
Yeah, anything that he does is like, it's almost like you don't want to. You just let him run wild with it. And when he was Aquaman on Batman, the Brave and the Bold, it was just a treat to have both of you.
I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Watching Johnny come up with that character was one of my favorite moments in show business. It was just like watching Mozart figure out a tune, and it was just great. I mean, that character popped more than I think probably any other character on the show, and John was amazing in it and hilarious, and made Aquaman, kind of self-referential and hip and lame and awesome and silly and serious, and he was just great. It was truly a unique creation. But John does that all the time. I mean, his Gorilla Grodd was great. He's just really good actor, and a really fun guy to hang out with. I mean, watch your
I was also told to ask before we end the call, Justice League Adventures, which you played the Batman on there also. We were wondering if there was going to be another or a sequel to that movie, because we did like that.
I can't tell you.
You can't tell me. Oh, that's a good sign. But
yeah. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Contractually, yeah.
Fair enough. But we did like your version of Batman in that story. So,
well, thank you.
You know,
Thanks very much.
It seemed like they touched a little bit on a prior plot on the Super Friends, where they went back in time to try to stop the Justice League from happening. So,
right.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But you cannot.
I love it. I mean, Nicholas' Silver career is a great joke to me. It's really genuinely fun to do. I love the actors tremendously, and I just love watching the product as it develops. And it's really genuinely fun for me. I just have a good time doing it, and I'm absolutely delighted to be included with such talent. You know, I sometimes I look around the room and I see this enormous amount of talent in the room and think, I can't believe I'm here, and then they're just going to tap on my shoulder and go, "We know you're a fraud. Get out."
Oh.
It really is a great privilege, and it's cool.
Well, we don't consider you a fraud. We truly appreciate you for the work that you contribute to live action and animation. And thank you again on a Saturday, no less, for taking time out to talk to me today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's great to talk to a real fan. Thanks.
Oh, no problem. And again, look for Diedrich Bader in American Housewife, coming this fall on ABC, and as Booster Gold on Cartoon Network in Justice League Action. Thanks again, Diedrich.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, Kevin. Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.